Welcome back to the Main Beam Podcast. I'll be one of your hosts, Brady Stockman.
Spencer.
Max.
Nick Locke.
Jeff.
Oh, and we're missing Landon tonight. Oh, my. He's out having fun on the rivers, not catching any catfish. But this is episode 31, so this will come out Thursday. So happy 4th of July, first and foremost. Hopefully everyone has a great 4th of July, great weekend. Hopefully everyone has a long weekend and doesn't have to work Friday like some of us. Like me, while Landon's fishing. Fucker. But no, we finally got a guest back in studio today. Waylon's with us. We had Skylar in, and we were going to try and get them both on at the same time. But we got Waylon in here tonight. So, Waylon, what's up, man?
Not a whole lot. Just another day in paradise.
I hear you, man. Been busy working?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Working up north, cutting on a big farm up there. It's basically a timber stand improvement job. So we're going through there, cutting out all the mature hardwoods, and they're going to come back in and hack and squirt and spray behind us. So
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. And then so for work, you're a timber harvest for work, right?
Logging.
Yep. Very cool. And then you work for
Bax Timber.
Yeah, Bax Timber.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Very cool. So you probably see a lot of nice farms then.
I'm probably on more farms than probably most people around have ever been on. Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably pick up a lot of sheds on farms, huh?
You'd be surprised. I mean, kind of what we're doing. We're moving through it so fast, don't really get time to look. But if we're in a good spot and that's the right time of year, I've actually found quite a few. I probably found 5 or 6
this year.
About time they start dropping. But like now, they get so hard to see.
Yeah,
and all the undergrowth growing in. So
I'll be damned. No, that's cool.
But
yeah, so no, we're excited to have you on. Finally coordinated times. I know we kind of went back and forth a couple times with everyone's busy schedule, like it seems to be. It's hard to coordinate to get 5 people together or even 3 of us together some nights. So we just appreciate you coming in anyway. Yeah. But yeah, you brought in your mule deer from this year, and you and Skylar were able to go out to, was it New Mexico?
Yep, New Mexico.
New Mexico. And is that the first year you've hunted out there?
Yeah, first year I've been out there. Skylar went out a couple years ago elk hunting. And I think that was COVID year.
Turn it on for me. You're good. I just forgot to turn on the camera. Keep going.
Yeah, I think that was COVID year, and let's see. I think Poopy. Yeah, he got tested for COVID right whenever it was time to go, and my wife was kind of like, "Nah,
yeah,
that's not better not go." But they went ahead and went out there. They didn't mind. The other person riding with him already had COVID, so
yeah,
he was good with it.
The China virus.
Yeah, they shot some elk, so but.
Yeah.
So he'd already been out there and met the guy, he knows him already, but.
Yeah, and then was it did you guys draw in with points, or you got a voucher for? No,
New Mexico don't have a point system.
It's all lottery.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
He being a landowner out there, he basically have, I guess you call it a cheat code, basically.
Yeah.
It was basically a guaranteed tag, but we put in for 2 other units for our first and second choice, and our third choice was for the unit that they lived in.
Okay.
So it was guaranteed if we did get drawn for first or second choice.
Oh, that's nice then.
So
that works out well. And then was that your first mule deer hunt, or you've been out there?
I've been on several.
Several. Is that the first one you've killed, or you've killed other ones too?
I've killed one with my bow before.
Really?
Yeah, a couple
that's
years
cool.
ago. Yeah.
I always liked the one that Cade killed up in. What, he killed that in Canada? Yeah, dude, that was cool. So I don't know, the mule deer excite me. I've never been on a mule deer hunt, but I feel like it's something I'd like to do like in the future, just because it's I don't know. I love my whitetail, but I feel like a big muley like that would be pretty sick, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of mule deer, that's my obsession, you know.
Really?
I'm very passionate about my whitetail, but mule deer, that's my obsession.
Very good.
It's definitely a spot and stalk. It's definitely something everybody that loves bow hunt needs to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I'd like to try it, because western, like where we hunt in western Kansas, it's kind of the same shit. Like it's a lot of spot and stalk. So I feel like if I did get a chance to go mule deer hunting, like I'd have a little bit of shit figured out other than just being like fresh out there. But yeah, I'd definitely like to try it. I feel like it's one of them things you almost got to go out and do one time and say, okay, well now I know what I did wrong, and you can kind of go from there to different spots. But is that where do you usually like mule deer hunting?
I mostly go a lot out in Nebraska.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because they have a lot of public ground, over the counter tags. So,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of states I'm drawing for and building points in. So I
Right.
didn't get drawn for nothing this year, but mostly I put in for just points everywhere.
Yeah.
Arizona was the only one I tried to draw for because it takes 20 some points
Yeah. Yeah.
to draw out
I was
there.
going to say,
So,
it's, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Arizona's one of them states, even elk, it's like a tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Tough.
when I
it's just a tough state to fucking draw in.
Yeah, I think when I started drawing, they said max points was 14, and now it's 21.
God damn.
So, but that's drawing for the Arizona Strip. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where everybody wants to go.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say that's be like your Gila or wherever else people want to go for elk and different shit.
Yeah,
But yeah, one of them things. No, I always have to laugh every time I see you and Skylar. I can't help but think about. I think it was Nebraska where Skylar was shooting Curtis's bow, and he had the
Yeah.
picture of that one deer that was like fucking 200 and some inches, and he missed it.
yeah, yep, exactly.
So in Nebraska, I assume you got to go pretty far west.
Yeah, we go almost out to Colorado.
Okay, I was
State
gonna
line.
say I didn't even know there was mule deer in Nebraska.
Oh yeah, heck, there's
I
even
figured
elk
there's
in
very
Nebraska.
few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew there was a few, but I didn't know that there was necessarily a good huntable number.
Oh,
Now, has Nebraska gone to draw, or is it still over the counter tag?
Archery's still over the counter. I think you can get a late muzzleloader tag usually over the counter, but your rifle you think you usually
Is
got to draw for.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
not
say.
still not very hard to get drawn.
Yeah, so I know Nebraska was struggling a lot of years with the overpopulation of hunters coming through it. So I know they were they switched stuff up for turkeys because I think you got to draw to turkey hunt it now, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So I know they were.
You do got to draw.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I knew they cut it down to 10,000 tags.
Oh no,
Maybe
it's not.
that's what it-
It's
maybe
first.
that's what it
Is it
is.
first come first serve?
Yeah, I think it's first
yes.
come first serve.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Just
you
a
are right.
certain number of them.
Yes. No.
And they
yeah.
backed it down to 2 birds, not 3 now.
Yes, I think you're right, because I remember, I don't know, I was Landon talking to you about going out there this year, and I remember they still had tags left
Yeah.
at the end of it or whatever. But yeah, I know Nebraska struggled for years with kind of like Colorado, like OTC elk. They just switched it this year because there's so much pressure in some of them OTC units.
Right.
But I don't know, one of them things. Good. I mean, good. Hopefully helps herd numbers and helps trophy quality, but definitely makes it harder for the non-resident, especially someone like us, to get out there.
Yeah, and there's still lots of ground. I mean,
yeah.
there's a ton of public ground out there. And I mean, like whenever we went out there that year, we took a whole extra day for the beginning of the season just to go out and scout. And I did a lot of research online, never doing it before, didn't know what to do. So basically what I found is they said, don't go to the great big public ground. They said, start with the little ones and just break them down and just branch out from there just to learn it.
Yeah.
And that was, very, very helpful whenever I read that. And that's what we did. And like I said, we kind of went in just an oddball place. And I think the night before opening day, I think we counted 27 bucks down a 15-mile county road.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Damn.
we hit it right on the nail. Where to go.
So did you guys end up killing?
Yeah.
I
ended up killing one the first night.
Really?
And then the second or the next day, that afternoon's whenever Skylar missed that great big one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That shit still cracks me up, dude. Curtis is such a fucking loser for that. Oh my God, so fucking funny.
I don't know, as far as when we went out there, is mostly, I've been trying to go out there for years, wanting to go, just couldn't ever get nobody to commit to going. And kind of the same thing, try to get on my buddies, like, hey, let's go. And everybody said, yeah, sounds good. And it got closer and closer to time to go or whatever. I could tell everybody kind of started dropping off. I'm just done with you guys. And I called Skylar and said, hey, I tell you what. I said, you might not want to spend money on it, but if you go with me, I'll pay your way out there. You don't have to pay for nothing. I'll buy your photo, your food, everything, just because I want somebody to be there with me in case something happens.
Yep.
And I said, but bring your bow along anyways. Maybe we'll shoot prairie dogs or something.
Yeah.
He said, oh, yeah. And we got out there, and like I said, the first day, seeing deer everywhere. So he's like, I think I'm going to break down by a tag. I said, well, do what you want. And,
yeah.
I killed my deer, like I said, opening night. And first thing in the morning, we went out, tried getting him a buck, see if we could find one. Didn't have no luck. And he's like, you know what? I think I'd be happy with the doe. Just shoot one, say I killed my first mule deer, and we'll bug on home. And I think that's what it kind of what it amounted down to is we always seen some does bedded off the side of the road in a little plum patch. And so and it was, I mean, you just drove past them every day. They was always there. Like, heck, it'd be real easy if we just jump out, kind of sneak up behind them and try to get an arrow on one. So we drove down there, drove down that county road. We drove by, and sure enough, there's some does in that plum patch. So I'm like, well, just going down, turn around. I usually just went so far down the county road, turn around, and we'd come back. But I thought, you know, just on a whim, I'm like, I'm going to go all the way back down the blacktop, turn around, and come back up. So that's what I did. And as soon as I turned around the blacktop and was faced back up the hill, I mean, that's all I could see right top the sky.
Just fucking giant.
And there was two of them. And, you know, I'm like, holy cow, Poopy. I said, look at them deer up there. I mean, he seen them too as soon as I pointed, and he's like, oh, my God. And they was on private, but they was working towards the public ground that the does were on. So we just kind of just basically bird dogged them in the truck, you know, follow them on the county road, and they actually come down. And, I mean, we probably went 30 yards from them. They just walking down a cow path right alongside the road. Then they jumped the fence on the road, walked down the county road, went on the other side of the county road, walked it, jumped back on, then jumped the fence on the public. And I think I parked the truck, kind of let them get them over top of the knob, and I run up there and looked, and I could see where they'd be lying right towards the back. There's a cedar thicket. So I'm like, yep, there they are. Ran back the truck. We hauled butt. It was just, and they was on like a square section.
Yeah.
So we hauled butt down the other end, and then we, with the truck, and then we ran down the fence row, basically, got in them cedars, and I mean, just to a T, they just come walking 50 yards. He just come perfectly broadside, and I was standing right over Poopy's shoulder, and he let her rip, and that arrow just went out and just right before it got to him, just straight down the ground. And that buck didn't know what happened. The other two didn't know what happened either, and they just kind of walked right off.
Have you seen the picture of it? Oh my God, dude! It looks like it's like 250 inches. Like it just looks stupid.
What did he do? Hit a limb or?
No,
nothing.
Curtis fucked his butt. Wasn't Curtis working on his bow, and didn't he say, "Well, just take mine"? And wasn't he shooting?
No, he was shooting his bow. He just had new strings put on it. He put the wrong size string.
Oh, okay,
and
yes.
He didn't tune it right.
Yeah, so it like lost all momentum. He said it came out and was like, "Foof," and then it just went and just dropped to the ground.
Yeah.
He said it was, I don't know, but.
And this is the picture you took while you were driving?
Yeah, well, always following behind him in the pickup.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how would that be for your first mule deer? First hunt ever.
Yeah.
I'd have walked into that bow shop and I'd have shot her.
Yeah, I was going to say, just one of them things that, what's the chances that.
Yeah.
That'll make you sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just one of them things. But did Skylar end up killing anything that trip, or he never even killed anything after that?
Well, that
threw the
pretty
bow.
much.
Yeah, he probably threw the bow away.
Mine would have been launched.
I'm guessing
Launched.
he shot his bow after that. And
Yeah, we shot it, and then, that's what it was. I think 30, and I think we shot it out to 40, and it was just fine, but once you got past 40, I mean, it just dove right off. It was out of tune somehow. Like, it's been several years. I don't quite exactly remember what was going on, but I think we switched up broadheads, too. I think it gave him some of mine, and that was shooting better, but still, it just had no power behind it.
I could have sworn he was shooting Curtis's bow, but maybe not. Maybe I'm fucking thinking of Landon's.
No, he took his bow that time they went to Canada bear hunting.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That is right. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but so anyways, that whole ordeal. I mean, then he was like, "Yep, I'm not leaving yet," and so I think the rest of that day we just went somewhere else, just kept looking like we're just gonna come back in the morning. Hopefully, he's coming back through here again. And I think that night we went back up to where I'd kind of shot mine, just a little bit different area. We hunted, just seen a bunch of does.
Yeah.
Come back next morning and sat up, and we never found him. I think we hunted 1 or 2 more days, just never could turn him back up. And I think he shot a doe. Finally, I think the last day he shot a doe, and I mean, that's just what we found. I just had no penetration.
Yeah.
It just went in, just popped right back out. Like,
something.
Your bow's done.
Yeah.
And then he did a little work too. I think he might have took it back to the shop, told him what was wrong. They tinkered with it. And I think he shot 2 deer during bow season, and the same thing, never could find a single one. And they never even killed him because, I mean, you got pictures of them later on. It just had no power to it.
God. Yeah, that's one of them things that almost makes you wish which I don't know enough to do it myself, but it almost makes me wish I knew enough to, like, tune my own bow, put my own strings on, like, fix all my cam lean and, like, different shit, but I don't have the time to fool with.
Yeah.
building arrows or doing any
Learning how to do it, getting good at it.
Yeah, I don't have enough time to get like really good at it. Is why we always take it somewhere. But honestly it's one scary thing about it, man. You take something like that and it just, one wrong guy that works on it and ruins a whole, a deer of a lifetime, pretty much, But
yeah, that's why I'm pretty anal on who I let touch
Work
the bow
on
and
it.
work on it,
yeah,
And like I said, we're not leaving that shop till I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
But you got to be, though. I mean, you put as much money as you stick forward into it. I mean,
Oh, sure.
You want everything to go perfect.
yeah. I was gonna say, like you said, as much money as you put into it and time, and time off work, time away from your family, and everything else. You need everything to function as well as it can to execute when it's time to, so you can get your ass back home and get back to work and see your family and shit too. So yeah, no, definitely. That's God. Yeah, that's. And then was the mule deer he killed this year? Was that his first one, or he killed one?
Yeah, that'd be his first.
His first
he
one.
killed,
Okay,
yeah.
so Skylar was hooked after that. Then when he went up there. So how many? That was what, 4 years ago?
That was 2005, or 4 seasons ago.
Yeah, I'll say
That's
4 or 5 years
2019.
ago now.
Yep.
I'll be damn.
And I've been out there several more times. I think next year Skylar couldn't go, so I took some of the buddies that were originally supposed to go. Now they was like, "Oh my God, y'all had that much luck." They wanted to go, and I took them, and I took my bow along, but I just mostly like, "Hey, you guys need to experience this."
Yes.
And this was amazing, and took them out, and we went a little bit later in the year and seen a lot of good deer. Just nothing couldn't make it happen. They was starting to rut, and I mean the bucks just wouldn't sit down. They wouldn't bed up.
Yeah, tough to make spot and stalks whenever
Yeah.
you can't get one to lay down.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of hunting pressure on public in Nebraska?
Depends. I mean,
Depends
whenever
where
we
you
was out there
go.
the first time, we never ran to a single hunter, except the second night we was coming out. We actually ran into Jeff Danker, and we were on our way out, and talked to him, and he said he'd been running people nonstop. And I said, "Well, actually, you're the first person we've met."
Yeah.
So we didn't have no trouble with it, but he said it was horrible for him. So. But the second year we went out there, we ran into a few people, but nothing major. But like I said, we're always hunting like the small, like 600-acre patches, which sounds like a lot of acres, but out there
It's
not,
tiny. It'd be like hunting a 20 or a 40 here.
Yeah.
You start talking.
Yeah, a lot of people they don't even bother with it.
They look at the bigger stuff on the
Yeah.
maps and whatever.
Yeah. Well, sure. I mean, just like you look on Onyx now, you gravitate towards the big areas that are highlighted in blue that say, whatever, conservation area that's, 5,000 acres versus a place that's, 200, 300. I could see that. But, yeah. So then I guess, was this, when you killed that deer, was that your next, I'm all right for now. Was that your next mule deer hunt, or did you go the year before when you killed this one?
I don't think I'd went last year, but the year before we went back out to Nebraska, me and one of my buddies, and I mostly trying just one of my buddies and tried getting him on one. He ended up killing a smaller buck. He was tickled pink with it.
Oh yeah, hell
Like-
yeah, first mule deer.
And but we couldn't turn up. We really we struggling to turn anything up. And that's why, like I said, he took a little bit smaller one, but it's kind of one of the deals we split up. And it was a small buck and a couple does, and they kind of bedded off. And it's one of the things he said, "What do you think I ought to do?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, just for practice, you all just try, belly crawling up on her, just to see if you can get in the range." And I was sitting probably 2,000 yards away, and I could see him. I couldn't see the deer, but I could see him. And he belly crawled all the way across grass, not this tall. Got up on her, whatever, and boy, he said he got within 30 yards and kind of sat up, and he said, "Man, he's texted me, he said, man, my heart's beating so fast.
Yeah.
This is an adrenaline rush." He said, "I think I might shoot one." He said, "You wouldn't think badly of me, would you?" Because, he's used to killing giant bucks around here. I said, "No." I said, "Your first one, if you're pumped, tickled with it, have at it."
Yeah, shoot that son of a bitch.
So he shot, and he was tickled pink. So
No, that's cool. That's one of them things I think even first time going out, I wouldn't be scared to shoot a smaller one. I mean, that's one of them hunts you spend the money to go do, and like I said, you take time away from your family on a first hunt. If it gets my heart pumping, I'm shooting the damn thing.
For real. Like, to me, that thing right there, that's what you dream of.
Yeah.
The ones that are smaller than that are still just
Yeah.
a trophy. Like, just being able to go out there and do it is...
So I'm sure whenever you guys get to go out to hunt where you're hunting these deer, you're probably amped to go hunt out there because you're probably getting into
Yeah.
a little better deer.
Yeah, a lot better quality, and like I said, private grounds.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a whole different ball game.
And then was it higher country? I'm guessing, or was it
Yeah,
not?
it was kind of. You had your sage flats and you had your tall mountains, but
Yeah.
it's not like you got up in the ponderosa pines or nothing
Yeah.
like that, or aspen.
Yeah.
It's just still mostly still your oak brush. You
Yeah.
know. Look, it wasn't sagebrush; it's more your oak brush style. You know, so and that's where these deer were at. They're down in the sage flats. You know, in the evenings, and then during the afternoon, they kind of go up on the hills and hide in the oak brush.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna ask. What do they typically do like during the day? I guess do they bed up like a whitetail, like first thing in the morning they'll kind of go somewhere, bed up, and then stand back up and feed again in the evening, or kind of what do they do?
Yeah, I've kind of basically the same thing. Yeah, they'll mosey around in the mornings, eat, and then they'll find a shade spot and they'll sit there. And like I said, down around there, it just seems like the shade moves so much.
They'll
you know what
get
the
up.
sun is. You know, it's not a solid hardwood forest, nothing like around here. So they'll move with it. And while every time they get up to go find a new shade spot, they'll browse a little bit.
Yeah.
Lay down. You know, but I mean, I think the majority of their feeding is done at night. You know.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a whitetail.
Yeah.
So I guess did you get to do like more glassing in New Mexico then, or was it more just kind of?
A lot of driving around because the way it was set up is, you know, he was going to, like I said, they got 3,500 acres or so down there, but it's kind of really chopped up into different pieces. And then they have neighbors that they're allowed to hunt on, but it's kind of like, well, we can hunt this neighbors, but we can't hunt their whole farm. We're going to hunt this hillside.
Yeah.
So the first day was just him kind of driving us around, showing us where we could hunt and where not to go and how to get back to all the different pieces on the four-wheeler roads. And it just happened to be that we, you know, killed them both the first night, you know.
Oh, you killed them both the first night.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like we was actually set up glassing an area the first night, or like we went out the morning, didn't see nothing but mostly a couple cows and some does or whatever, and went out there glassing one spot. And he's all right. He said, "Let's move on, and we'll go show you a different spot. You know, just kind of to see it all, and we'll see what happens." And moving to it, and that's when we bumped up Skylar's, and he shot his, and we just kind of like, well, heck, this is good. You know, kind of getting late. You know, I said, let's just go on back, get him kind of worked up. And on the way back, we ended up going a different route, and that's when we bumped up mine, too. Just come up out of a ditch, blowing up out of a ditch with another buck.
God
So,
damn.
yeah.
So, yeah, you killed both of them first night. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's bittersweet, but I really would like to spend. I mean, I love sitting up there on the hills and glassing
Yeah.
and stuff, just everything you see.
Yeah, that's what. Whenever we went out to Colorado this year in elk hunting, that was my favorite thing. Like I didn't care if we didn't see a whole lot the whole time we were there, but it was just fun to hike all the way up to the top of the mountain, and we'd just sit there and you could just glass for hours and just pick through stuff. And
Yeah.
I love glassing, especially like even like velvet deer right now. Like I love driving down the road and like sitting there and like looking and just spotting deer. So no, that's cool. So what was kind of your initial reaction, I guess, once you like just happened that fast? Kind of what
Yeah,
was
like I caught like they blew out of there, and I was on the side or four-wheeler in the back, so I didn't get a real good look. I just seen basically their asses go up kind of behind a cedar tree. We're like, oh, there might have been some good bucks. Kind of got off, got the gun up, and I'm like, man, if they just step out behind that cedar tree, it'd just be a perfect shot at like, I don't know, it was 120 yards. And
damn.
finally one of them stepped out, and from like my angle, I couldn't see his rack at all, so I didn't know how big he was. I could just see this big old huge body, and you know, I was kind of looking at it through the scope, and like, I can't tell how big it is. And I look back at Skylar, said, how big is he? He's like, he's freaking big. You better be shooting. You know. I'm like, I just wish I could see what he was. And then, like, I shot, you know, and he just basically took a lunge forward behind the next cedar tree. I'm like, well, we got him, you know.
Yeah.
At 300 Ultra Mag, you know, he ain't going nowhere.
No.
You know. And rolled up there, and here he was, rolled over on his back with them horns sticking up. I'm like, holy
shit.
cow. Like, we had no idea he was that big.
How did you shoot something you couldn't see?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say then they'll walk up on it. Don't know if it's gonna have ground shrinkage or ground growth like that one. There's not very many deer you walk up on that get bigger whenever you walk up on them.
No.
That's so. Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah,
That-
if that was you and me out there, and you said, "Oh, he's big. You better shoot him." I probably wouldn't be shooting him.
Yeah, I'd be like, Max, oh my God, he's big. You better shoot him. That means don't shoot him. No, I'm getting a little better with it finally. I had to ask Spencer for permission to shoot the deer I shot this year.
We were actually just talking
didn't
about
ask
that. He
permission.
told me, he's like, yeah, if Landon would have been with me, I probably wouldn't have shot it. I'm like,
Fuck, bull.
I have seen the video of that deer, and that deer looks monstrous.
He goes, oh,
I think it's this deer. I'm like, if you don't fucking shoot it, I am.
Yeah,
Give me your bow.
I don't know, dude. Which I don't know if it's just me or just I've always struggled with being able to like field judge deer. I'm definitely getting better at it than I was, but I mean, I had a stretch for 3 or 4 years where I was fucking terrible. But, no, I don't know. I just one of them things. I just got a little excited when I was younger and would just
Well, you say that though, but then you in Kansas that one year you didn't shoot a 160-inch deer.
yeah, yeah, that is true. I was gonna say, and then you come into Kansas and 160-inch deer standing in front of me, and I don't want to shoot it. Landon said, "You're not gonna fucking shoot that deer?" I'm like, dude, it's not that big. Like, I don't think it's big. Like, I'm not going to shoot it. And he said, are we looking at the same deer? I swear to God, you're not going to shoot this deer. I'm like, I just don't think it's that big, dude. Like, I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to shoot it. And then it got into like 40 yards and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll shoot it. And I ended up missing it anyways. And we got back to camp and I was showing Cole. I was like, yeah, here's the deer. Whatever that we filmed, I said probably 140s, and he looked at it and he very well told me, he's like, you're fucking stupid. He's like, that deer's like 165. And dude, it's hard. It was hard for me to tell, especially in Kansas, because like you're on the ground. Like I'm used to seeing them from a stand and being able to like look down on them. I guess I don't know if my perception was just different, but yeah, that deer was at 40 yards, and I was like, it's not that big. Yeah, it was like 160.
It's not that.
It was like 165-inch deer. Fucking terrible. But dude, speaking of Kansas, Waylon, I don't know. You probably hadn't heard yet, but that deer. Did Landon tell you about the deer that he misfired on out there?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
So this weekend we were talking to our buddy out there, and the neighbors had found the sheds to it. Because we were asking, we were like, well, whatever happened to that deer that Landon missed? And he's like, oh my God, dude, I had pictures of it all the way up until shed season. And he's like, it dropped its sheds. And he's like, I just couldn't get a free day to go pick them up. He's like, I knew they were right there in between, a couple farms. He's like, I was going to pick them up for sure. Well, the neighbor ended up shed hunting it the day that he was going to shed hunt it. And so he rolls up to shed hunt and he's like, damn, there's already another truck here. So he said he just, started glassing from the road, and he said he could see them walking, and they had the deer sheds in his hands. Shit. And he was like, God damn it. He's like, shit. So he said he waited there at the truck, and they come back, and he was like, hey guys. He said they were two old guys, like 60 years old. He was like, hey guys, like, is there any way you'd sell me the sheds? He's like, my old man missed it. Landon, blew smoke at it. He's like, I've had pictures of it
missed it too.
Yeah, Cole's old man missed it.
I didn't
later.
know that.
Yeah, later in the year.
God.
He's like, is there any way you'd sell them? He's like, I've had pictures of it for several years, and these old dudes they don't even deer hunt. They just shed hunt. And they were like, man, these are the biggest sheds we've picked up. Like, I don't think we're gonna sell them. And Cole's like, well, what would you have to have? Like, what's your, I don't want to sell it price. And they were like, we'd have to have $2,000 for them. Cole's like, fuck. He's like, well, I'll give you my number. And he's like, call me or I'll get in contact with you. And he said, if I do end up wanting to buy them, if someone kills it. They were like, okay, yeah. And he was like, well, can we tape them out while you got them here, They're like, yeah. So they taped them out, and just with a 16-inch spread, it was 212.
Ooh, that burns.
Yeah, 212, and he said it had about an 8-inch broken tine on it, so it would have been just shot probably right around 220.
And Landon had it at
40 yards. Yep, muzzleloader misfired on it.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's about as bad as Skylar's incident. Just fucking terrible.
I got a buddy. If that would have been his gun, it wouldn't have came home with him. That's for sure. It'd still be laying at the base of that tree.
Yeah, that's why I said, so leave that son of a bitch in the center of the field.
Whose gun was it?
It was my. I think it was my gun, actually.
Was it that one?
No, it was yours because he took Max's the second time. The next time.
Yeah, it was.
He was going to
my
take
gun.
mine, and he's like, no, I'm going to take Max's. I've shot Max's before. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, that's fine.
Will you hand me a beer?
Yeah.
Now, if he would have done it with my gun, I'd have been a mad son of a bitch.
Yeah. Dude, so anyways, I mean, just getting into it, whatever. I drew a tag this year. I want to buy one of the nitro fires that has the sealed off.
Grab one.
sealed off powder, because I was like, I'm not. What happened was we were taking, which it was our fault. We were taking the gun from 100-degree weather to inside the hotel we were staying at. We had the hotel, since it was so hot outside, cranked down to like 65.
Right.
Well, I kept every night I'd tell Spencer, I'm like, dude, it's so hot out here. Like, you should see the moisture rolling down like our windows and shit.
Right.
Well, I think the powder had so much moisture in it, it was just fucked. But
It probably was fucked the first night.
yeah, I mean, it very well,
Like, you're not even supposed to touch the powder.
yeah, very well could have been. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. My muzzleloader's not hardly any different than that. But remember when we used to do that doe hunting at Tom's every year, and we did that in the cabin with our muzzleloaders, and nobody's gun would ever shoot.
Yeah.
Mine never misfired. I don't know why. Just maybe luck.
Yeah, well, remember how me and Landon's used to? Like Garrett's did the same thing. We'd take it out of the cabin and go doe hunting. It would be not shit would happen. So I don't know. I'm gonna buy one with the sealed off powder this year, so I don't have that problem, because I'm not missing a 200 incher. But
What does a nitro fire run?
$500.
Oh, I know.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Nope.
I've actually had pretty good. I've had really good luck with mine.
You've always had good luck with yours. Hell, I think I've even killed deer with it. But I've never had a problem with mine until, well, this year, and then when Landon shot it, it did the same shit at Allen's too.
Well, it did it when you guys were just making sure it was on, right?
Yeah.
And then he shot it a couple more times. It was perfectly fine. So he's like, oh, it's good.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just one of the things, man. Muzzleloaders I love them, but I hate them, because you just never know. Never know with them damn things. But yeah, so I don't know what. I guess what do you have planned? You have any plans this year for mule deer? You're just building points.
Yeah, but building points, see what kind of time I get, might go back out to Nebraska, but hopefully this year my buddy from Illinois, hopefully he's actually sticks around town, don't get shipped off for work or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to go out there and hunt his place out there for whitetails or whatever, maybe do a little duck hunt while we're out there.
Oh yeah.
So that's
In
the
Nebraska?
plan. In Illinois.
Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
He runs, I think he runs like 1,800 acres out there.
Okay.
So, and they got a pile of deer
Where's
on there.
that at?
It's a county.
You don't have to say specific.
No, it's.
No.
I'm trying to think. I forget the name of the county. It sits right between next to Pike and Calhoun County.
Okay. So
Oh,
northern part of Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good area.
That is a good area.
I say hell of an area out there.
Like
Definitely for deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some giants that run through there.
Yeah.
What
Been
the hell?
trying to get out there for years, but he's always traveling over the road working. So, and just, he always said, just go there and hunt. I said, no, I'm not going to hunt there if you're not there.
Yeah.
The whole point's to come out and see you and hang out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I feel like, even like you said, when you got Skylar to go with you that first year, like, it's kind of one of them things, like, it's almost not even fun to do some of that shit by yourself. Like,
No.
you almost got to have someone there to, like, experience it. Like, had you been there by yourself and, like, something happened and, like, you missed that 200 or however big that damn mule deer was that Skylar missed, like, it still wouldn't even have been as, like, it wouldn't even have been the story it was unless you had someone else there with you.
Exactly.
No one probably would have believed it.
No, absolutely not. They could have said, hell, you just pulled that picture off the internet.
Yeah.
You done.
Well, that's what Curtis did. Dude, we used to go into Missouri Valley all the time. He would tell about the deer he had on camera, and he would just pull a picture up, like on Google. He would just Google 200 incher, and then he'd just show you a picture. It's like, what? He's a goofy bastard.
You do quite a bit of hunting around here.
Yeah.
That way, back
Yeah, back in Osage County, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple farms around there, The home farm and a couple farms out of rent for running cows, or used to. Not so much anymore, but, still have lots of different places to travel around.
Osage County's getting beat up with all the deaths here recently. You've been
I
hearing
know.
about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what me and Nick were talking about that earlier. They've had a rough run
terrible.
of,
Sad deal.
yeah, for sure.
Very, very sad deal. Got to keep your hearts out for them.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just touch on it because I don't know if Alan wants us to or not, but I mean, I guess
Talk to him.
I didn't talk to him. I tried to call him. He didn't answer, but I guess we'll just touch on it. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of people listening other than our
Us
friends.
anyway.
And yeah, our friends anyways. I mean, there may be a handful of people that don't know, but I guess for anyone that doesn't know, Alan was diagnosed with cancer. So that's why he hasn't been here the last couple episodes. He's kind of going through some stuff right now, getting it figured out. But so hopefully everyone's kind of keeping him in their prayers and stuff, and hopefully he can get that figured out and get him back to health for this deer season. But I kind of did want to touch on it this episode just because he hasn't been here the last, 4 or 5, and I've had a couple people ask where he was at. So that's kind of what Alan's got going on, and that's all the more I'm going to say on it. If someone wants to reach out to him or me or whatever, we can talk about it. But he's going through some things, so we'll keep Alan in our thoughts and prayers. But yeah, I just, like I said, wanted to touch on that a little bit, not to bring the whole podcast down.
You done messed it up. Might as well end it.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So, you found a bunch of sheds this year.
Yeah.
What were you up to about?
Last I remember, like 42, I think. Yeah,
I was
it's probably the
gonna
best
say.
year I'd had.
Yeah, I was gonna say you.
Yeah.
I found 15.
It sounded like every
4 dead heads.
it sounded like every weekend you had a good pile of them. I was like, damn, he's killing it this year.
Yeah,
shed hunting.
like I said, had a pretty good year. Like I said, not all of them are on like farms that I actually hunt, just
Yeah.
friends. But I only kept track of the ones that I actually picked up. Found.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Say, I seemed like I was sent about.
You yourself picked up 42?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and like I said, best year I think I've ever had. And like I said, find some at work, and
Yeah, I think
Oh,
us is
15 was the best year I've ever had.
I think I found like 4 dead heads one time. Like a shed or 2 maybe, and they were chewed up from last year, but
I found that one this year.
it's a dandy.
I
yeah,
don't know.
He'll be a good one next year.
Well, he's,
fucking terrible joke.
I'll be real honest. Don't get me wrong. I like to go and pick them up, but I go about a handful of times a year, and that's about it. I mean, like if I got 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, however many deer in mind, like I'll find them or try to find them. Of course, I won't find them.
Yeah.
Anything other than that, like I don't really.
I've never been very good at finding sheds.
Oh, I fucking
walk
love
miles
shed
and
hunting.
miles and miles and miles and miles,
I would-
and I'll be like, "Oh shit, I found 3 this year."
I
Hell
do
yeah.
love it too, and I think I like it more going on like somebody else's farm.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I
like
agree.
walking
Because
around
like
the farm.
when you walk a farm you're used to, you're like, "Oh, this is where they have to be."
Yeah,
When you don't know, I feel like I just went around aimlessly.
yeah,
I'll just stumble across one.
And
Yeah.
I could probably tell you, I don't know if this might be frowned upon, but I probably found more shitty little sheds that I've not even taken out of the woods.
yeah.
I do that too. Yeah, a little spike, just leave it there, let squirrels gnaw on, or let somebody else find it.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's something shitty, I don't even take it. I don't even carry it.
Yeah.
I pick them all up. Just my dog likes to chew on them.
Well,
You got another dog, didn't you?
I did.
Yep. That's news. Nick got another new little pup.
Yep, she's 10 weeks old now, little black lab. So
It's
that's something
Hank's-
to look forward to. One of
Hank's daughter.
Yep, Hank's
Oh, really?
daughter.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
cool.
One of my pups. So hopefully we'll be looking forward to that in the next probably 2 years. Get to see her pick up some birds for us, but
Yep. She's getting pissed on right now.
she is Hank. I don't know what it is, but like he just has to mark his territory. So like Charlie will go out and pee. Hank's like, "Oh, I gotta pee." Instantly. I mean, she gets done. She might not even be done. And Hank's like, "I gotta mark it," and she'll be underneath of him, and he'll just piss
fucking-
on her. I'm like, God damn, Hank, come on, no.
How old's Hank?
Hank will be 4 in September.
I'll say
Yeah,
he's
so
not
he's
very
a,
old.
no, Hank's
but-
not very old.
He's
So-
still a pup.
Yeah, Hank still. I mean, he's younger. I mean, he's past the pup point at this point, but he's doing good. But he taught me a lot. Charlie's actually my dad's dog now, or she is my dad's dog. But we're gonna work together a lot on her and try to get her to do some upland hunting and some waterfowl hunting and whatnot. But he's always had bird dogs in the past, and he hadn't had one in probably 5-8 years, and seeing me get Hank, he really, really wanted to get back into it. So we're gonna give it a whirl, and it'll be.
So
fun.
does the dog stay with you?
No, it stays with at my dad's house. But I go over there.
So I don't mean to cut you off,
You're
but
fine.
is your old man getting into has he waterfowl hunted in the past?
He's actually never waterfowl hunted. He's always been an upland hunter.
Okay.
My dad's not really in the greatest of health, so he doesn't get around the greatest. So it's kind of hard to get him out there. It's very particular on when and where he can go. We do a lot of we try to dove hunt every year. I've taken
Yeah,
him on,
that's
I
it.
have taken him on a few waterfowl hunts, but it's just hard. We got to be in an A-frame. He can't
Yeah.
get in a layout blind. But Charlie will go on. She'll be a lot of help on a lot of like our big trips and
Yeah.
whatnot. Like when we go to the Dakotas, Hank's worn out, and
Oh, I'm sure he's retrieving.
If we get into him, he might be worn out on day 1, day 2. So being able to take her with us and rotate dogs will help me a lot, help Hank a lot, and he loves it. He's had her for 2 weeks now, and you can just see in his eyes every time we see that I'm over there. He adores that dog.
Huh. We might have to plan a trip back out to Kansas to pheasant hunt then.
Yes,
I don't think
definitely.
we're going to go this year, but I'd like to go next year. Hopefully, try and get your old man.
No, he would love that.
I was gonna say, try
It'd
and
be
get
kind of like a Floyd deal.
Yeah,
where like him and Floyd could ride around on the side by side and blast away at pheasants, and he would love that.
I was going to say that's how. I mean, Floyd can't get around very well, and he takes the guide's truck. He'll just drive up, park on the side of the road, and he'll just block. And he kills just as many birds as everyone else does. So,
Well, and like I feel like I've made enough connections in North and South Dakota in the last 4 or 5 years that I could probably get us some ground up there. That I would love to take him up there eventually. That's kind of my ultimate goal, is to be able to get him to the Dakotas with me.
If I kill a deer, I have a spot we can go goose hunting.
I know you do.
yeah, we were sending him videos last year.
You need to.
I gotta kill a deer first.
Hey, I know a way.
And they got,
He's got to just tell us when he's not in town.
and they got. They're going to have silage corn in there again this year, so it's going to be the same exact thing.
Yeah. Well, hey,
just help me out.
a couple shotguns aren't gonna affect that deer. I promise you. He's gonna be gone.
He'll be
September
gone.
15th.
I was going to say he will be gone the 15th anyway, so it ain't going to matter.
No,
but,
it's 16.
yeah.
All right.
He was
well,
there
so
the 15th.
Goose season doesn't open until October 15th. That's a month after. No sense in wasting your time in that ground blind when we could be laying in layouts and just waylaying them honkers.
Oh, we could have.
A bunch of them too.
Yeah, like it's all of.
Well, you remember
You
when
don't
we
see that is the only field that you see feeds like that in that time of year.
Yeah.
I promise.
we drove the side by side down the river, and I mean there was
Yeah,
150,
you could
200.
you could you could
Third
honestly,
pile.
yeah, you could honestly hunt them on that river, because they just sit and loaf on it. You could set up on the river and just smoke them on there. They'd probably come down through the trees like timber hunting ducks.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Just
just let
stupid
me kill one. Then
stupid
we'll go,
big
'cause I
old
never goose hunted.
dark
I'm not
necks.
stopping you.
I never
Just
goose
shoot 'em.
hunted.
Fucking, why don't you just step up your game and kill the damn thing?
Hey, I tried.
Yeah, we told Spencer we were going to take him goose hunting last year, and we never took it.
Well, hell, what did we go 3 times? Because
Yeah.
of Max?
It was fucking.
We went once because of me and twice because of Max.
Yeah, I say it
Last
was.
year just sucked.
It was dog shit here last
Unless you
year.
were Derek Haslag and had the field that they were in every single day for, I don't know,
I don't know.
3
we had
months
some
straight.
Fun. We had some fun.
We did have fun.
Yeah.
We did have fun.
And that second day would have been, hell, we killed 14, and we were out of there by, what,
8:30.
8 o'clock?
I think we started packing up at 9:30 because I had to be at that deal at 11.
Yeah.
I think we started packing up at about 9:30, and I mean we would have killed more geese. And to me,
We didn't shoot
the 12 or 14 we killed that day, that is one of my favorite goose hunts ever.
Yeah, we didn't shoot into a couple groups because of swans.
Yeah, no, I mean we probably ultimately, if I would have called the shot on we had several groups of 3 or 4 that might land off of my. Hell, I killed my 3 birds before anybody else fired a shot.
Yeah.
Like, I was on the far right side, and the geese wanted on that far right side. So we kind of switched things up, and I was like, do you guys want to shoot them? I was like, we need to rotate sides or something, because they were wanting on this.
Yeah,
far
they'd
side
land
of
and
the
Nick
box.
would shoot one, and then another group would land. Nick would shoot one more out of it, and then he'd be like, "God damn it! Okay,
I was
someone's
like,
gonna have to come over
I was just
here."
like, somebody trade me spots. I was like, let's rotate here or something. Like, we need to move some decoys, get the birds to finish up a little better. And nobody's like, I don't care to shoot. I'm having a fun time watching them.
well, you don't get to shoot them. You just don't get to shoot them over sheet water here.
No,
like
no.
at
I mean,
all.
we were in.
We were sitting in the middle.
6 inches of water in a bean field. It was probably 40 yards across. That it was just sheet water, and it was just fucking awesome.
Yeah, not something you get to do around here a lot at all.
One of my favorite goose hunts, especially in Central Missouri, ever.
Yeah, and then you goose hunt A little bit, don't
A little
you?
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm more into deer hunting. If I ain't got no deer to chase, then I'll go. I think I only went twice this year.
Yeah.
Went once the early season. I don't remember if it was first, second day. Kind of one of them deals. I don't think we hunted Derek, but hour and a half, and we all
I
went
watched
one
from
ball.
the road.
Did you?
I was supposed to be there. You
Yeah,
took my
was you?
spot.
Sorry.
You little asshole.
Could have kicked Hudson out.
Yeah, Derek goes, "Oh, you want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I want to go." Are you kidding me? I've been watching this field for 3 weeks, and they've been piling in there. He goes,
Well, you can't go, you
I got
fucker.
family coming. I'm like, what's one more guy at this point? Come on.
You ought to have a talk with him because he was trying to get Skylar and Cade to hop in the blind too.
I know it. I know it.
Fuck.
Oh well, it's that our whole down here. It's just hard because
There's so many groups of people watching birds, and there's not a lot of.
yeah.
Well, that's how
areas.
me and Nick ended up hunting. What those couple times
Yeah.
last year, just because hell,
I'd be
Well, I
sitting
didn't
here
know it was-
watching the field. All of a sudden, Max come pulling up on me. You gonna hunt this?
In his Jap truck.
The first time he was in his diesel, I'm sitting here watching this field, and I'm like, who the hell is this motherfucker coming up on me 40 mile an hour on a gravel road, fucking gooseneck trailer fishtailing behind him. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get my ass chewed by some farmer. I'm like, I'm perfectly fine. I have permission on this field. I'm like, nothing to worry about. But in the back of your head, you're like,
Fuck yeah.
somebody's about to come chew my ass. I roll my window down, and Max pulls up, grinning ear to ear. What are you doing? I'm like, probably the same thing you're doing. I'm watching these geese.
well,
He
I
goes,
had seen however many trucks drive around there.
Yeah.
You know, but I've been watching them from down the road.
yeah, for 3 or 4 days before that.
Yeah.
And
And thank God I actually ended up talking to you because I didn't
Yep.
know there was X amount of people trying to hunt it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could
That
have
dude-
hunted it X days before,
Yeah.
like that one jerk off did.
no shit.
And yeah, good thing I found out that you were trying to, or you were going to hunt it too. I was like, well, this is good. We got it figured out then.
Yeah, that's
It's hard. Around here, there is more hunters than there is birds.
Well, what did the day we got fucking busted by MDC, which was dumb as shit, but
Yeah.
how many spreads did it
He
say?
said the weekend before we hunted down there, and we seen the warden or the conservation truck drive by, and we're like, oh, we're gonna get checked tonight as we're picking up, or he's gonna drive out here. Woohoo! Granted, we were all fine doing everything by the books, and nothing ever happened of it that night. Next weekend, we were hunting literally the next field over, and me and Max were at the truck so we had to take the side-by-side out with decoys and all our gear. And
Well, just to preface it, there was like 9 inches of mud.
Yeah.
Like it
No,
was
yeah.
just straight mud.
straight mud. And so we took the side-by-side out with our gear. We'd bring it back. I would unload, start putting it in the trailer. Max would take the side-by-side out, fill it back up, so on and so forth. And so me and Max are at the trailer. I'm like, fuck, it's hot. Let's crack a beer. I'm like, I need a beer. That was a shitty hunt, but it was a decent. We scratched a few. And so I'm drinking a beer, putting decoys away. Truck pulls up, game warden. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it was just a shit show. And he finally, we ended up, he checked all our birds, checked our licenses, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, so were you the guy that was out here last weekend? And he's like, no, that wasn't me that you seen, but I had people out here scouting. I'm like, scouting? I was like, you're a conservationist. What are you scouting? And he's like, well, we were just checking for hunters. He's like, we counted 14 spreads from here to here, which is, I'm sure you probably know from where here.
Yeah.
from the Missouri.
I got a good
From-
idea.
From the bridge
Yeah.
to there.
Fucking yeah.
Within 5 miles.
Jeez.
And I think it was actually 7 miles that we mapped out. He counted 14 spreads.
Yeah.
And on one Saturday night, I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah.
And which at that time of year, which it doesn't happen often, but typically the last week or two of season, it's like that. I mean, there's that many feeds around that we can do it. And this year it got so cold that it was on and then it was off.
Yeah.
And we were what he said. There was only one other spread that weekend because everything pretty well
Yeah.
was here for 3 days and was like, see ya.
Yeah.
Going back north.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, and the only we just got busted because we didn't have our birds separated because we took literally everything out of the blinds, packed everything up, and which looking back, we should just zip tied them in threes, which we were under our limit anyways.
So we didn't worry about it.
Yes.
I
Well, we
am
didn't.
normally anal as hell about that.
Well, we
And-
didn't do anything wrong, but it looked
fishy.
It looked, but
because
yes,
when me and Nick came back to the trailer,
With 12 geese
Yeah.
and 2 guys, he's like, "What's going on?"
and then
he
we
kinda
had
just
we
hung
had to
around.
explain to him, there's other people out there. Well, they need to come up here, and it was so muddy.
yeah. It took us. I mean, it took us a while to get. We had a 10-minute. We had a 5-minute drive in, pack everything up, and to get back out. So 10 minutes to there and back or whatever. And by the time we get back,
If he was that worried about it, he'd have walked his ass out there.
yeah, I mean he laid into us and fucking bitched at us a little bit, but it was just because we didn't have our birds separated because we had everything piled up trying to get the hell out of the field, for the farmer's sake, really, because we had already rutted the shit out of it.
That, and it was getting to be
Yeah,
7 o'clock at night, and we want to get out of the field, go eat dinner.
Now
Yeah,
that wasn't Sunday. That was a Saturday night, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because then
It might have been because we hunted that next field,
it
sheet
was
water
on-
on Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning. That's right. But yeah, so just one of them things. Like I said, obviously we were in the wrong, but it was one of the things that was stupid. Like we were
One of
under
those
our
things that
limit.
will fight to the death.
Yes, I mean we were under our limit of birds, and it would have been different if he was like, well, you're over your limit, or something stupid. But yeah, it was kind of, well, you need to know who shot what. You need to know exactly who shot what. I'm like,
Well,
dude, we're shooting honkers.
It was like that speck you killed.
Yeah.
He was like, so who killed the speck? And you and
Yeah.
somebody else were like, well, I shot at it.
Yeah.
We shot it. And he's like,
Who shot it?
And I'm like,
yeah,
I can't control the fact that me and him shot the same bird.
Yeah.
I understand that one of us has to claim it, but
yeah.
to me, the end of the day,
Yeah, we were under our limit of birds by a number of birds anyways. So yeah, so it wasn't like we were,
especially on specs,
yes,
we had one, and there was 5 of us.
yeah. So, but I don't know. Going forward, I bought a whole pack of zip ties to keep in my truck. That way, I threw half of them in the side by
Got
side.
fucking game tags.
Yeah,
I ordered 500 of the actual tags that you can write your name on, write your license number on, species and everything.
yeah,
Just because we need them for when we were out of state, especially. I needed to get them, and around home, I feel like we shouldn't have to worry about it as much, just because for some reason home feels like the safe place.
Yeah.
But we really should, just to keep ourselves safe.
yeah. Seeing waterfowl hunting is one of them things. I'm not well versed in it enough to know it. That's why I have to go with you, or I have to go with Kate. I have to go with somebody that's you can shoot this many of that and this many of that, because I'm just now kind of learning different shit. So I was never well versed enough to be I'm gonna go draw into Grand Pass by myself and just shoot whatever. I would have.
Well, that's actually what that guy got pissy about, because when he asked me how many birds I shot, I don't remember the number, but I was like,
You said, I don't know, 1 or 2?
yeah, I said 1 or 2. I said, but I know I finished that one on the ground, just bullshitting
Yeah.
conversation, and yeah, he lost his shit over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pissed.
No, I'm like,
You got to know what you killed. And
I'm like, I don't know, man. We rained out 4 out of the air and one's flopping on the ground. I shot his ass. I don't know.
Yeah,
I finished him.
Yeah, I
Do you
finished
want,
it. How does that count?
yeah. Which
I think that they called it party hunting, and I always write on my trailer our dates, names, blah 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 blah. Whoever hunted on that hunt, we write it on the door, and it was labeled the party hunt because it was just kind of comical when we wrote on the door. But I think that party hunting is, in my opinion, one of the silliest things in the world.
yeah,
In waterfowl, you have a group of 300 birds come in and you shoot into it, and they're all falling all over the place with 8-10 guys. How do you know what
yeah, you
person
don't.
killed?
Yeah,
You truthfully don't.
Yeah. Well, that's what waterfowl hunting to me is all about. Just going out there having fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
That's
Group of guys. What other sport can you do where you just all sit there and
No.
BS and just
To me-
all of a sudden just, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call
to
me
me,
in.
to me, waterfowl is deer camp, 24/7.
Yes.
It is, and like
Yes.
that's like Brady's coming on our North Dakota trip this year for the first time, and like I've explained to him and Landon, I was like, you go to deer camp and you have deer camp from 6 o'clock at night when you get back until midnight. You're drinking beer, you're playing cards, whatever. You go to bed, you wake up. We're literally together from the time we leave Jefferson City until we get back to Jefferson City, and it is deer camp. We are drinking beer, we're having fun, we're bullshitting, we're looking for birds, we're just jamming to music, we're eating good food. It is just nonstop in the blind.
Yeah.
I'm always cooking. I'm jamming music while we're setting up. I want to have fun.
Right.
Like we're there with the boys.
Yeah,
It is-
there's
Well, and my thing too with the party hunting is what he was saying. He was like, well, just one of you could have shot all 12, whatever, how many birds we had. But in my opinion,
you got to be
at
one.
least I ain't gone enough. But how many times have you gone hunting with just to say, hey, come with me so I can shoot 12 birds?
Well, like
myself?
Well, that's
the
what I was
the
just
next
gonna
day,
say.
The next day, I killed my first 3 birds. We killed I think 4 geese, and I killed 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact I killed those 3.
And you said,
I said
I'm done.
somebody switched me spots. Drake and Steve drove 4.5 hours through the fucking night, met us in the field to hunt that morning, didn't go to sleep. I was like, you guys paid for an out-of-state license. Trade me spots right now and kill your 3 Missouri geese,
Yes.
please. And they're like, I'm just here for the time. Like, I'm
Yeah.
having fun. I don't care if you're shooting them, I'm shooting them, whatever.
well-
we're working geese and we're watching geese.
I think we're all in the same boat. You got to be one dumb son of a bitch to look at some like it'd be different if he had pulled up and there was no one in the blind but one dad and 6 kids and fucking
Yeah.
whatever, and he
Correct.
was like, oh well, you're way then I could be like, okay, yeah, did the kids shoot all them geese? Probably not. Like you may jump their ass a little bit and be like, hey, look, dude, like you can't shoot all your kids' fucking birds or whatever. But to go up to someone like us who he can clearly tell with your whole
We're
trailer,
serious about it.
your whole trailer set up, all your decoys, like he can clearly tell, like, fuck, these dudes are, they
he
know what
even
they're
said that.
doing.
He goes, you guys are serious about it. He's like, we've checked
Yeah.
several rigs and this one's...
Yeah, you can clearly tell we're not fucking dumbasses.
Yeah.
Well, we are dumb as shit, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
clearly
no,
tell
yeah.
like we're not out there to be like, hey Nick, we're just gonna come out and sit in the blind with you. Can you shoot all fucking 30 of our geese?
Yeah.
Like how stupid, It's just one of them things. It just kind of pissed me off because it's like, all right, dude, like you're just kind of using your authority to be,
I understand. Yes, we were in the wrong.
Yeah,
And-
no, we definitely
we really
were.
weren't in the wrong. We were in the wrong when we got back to the trailer. Is
Because how many times did I say while we were in that blind,
Throw your birds to whoever's got whatever. Throw them to you.
keep them
That's
separated.
what I'm saying. We really didn't.
And
do anything
in
wrong,
the
but by
entire time till we left, they were separated.
by the time we got back to the trailer,
They were all thrown in the bed of the Ranger.
yeah,
Yes.
just 2
That's
guys.
when they
Well,
were together.
12 birds.
Do you remember when we were sitting there and we first seen them, and I had my big ass binos and I threw them up and I said I could look down past Levi's and I said there's the game warden's truck right there. I'm like, I guarantee you he comes up here and checks us. And he just kept driving straight. Had he had turned and actually came down and checked us, we all would have been just fine.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Not that anybody got a ticket anyways.
No, I'm just saying it just fucking was stupid. But
It still just irks your soul.
And
yeah.
neither of
Go ahead
them
and
were
deal with
bad, but one of them was a little.
Yeah, I mean they were I'm sure outside of, their work, they were probably both nice guys. They'd probably sit down and have a beer and talk to us on a podcast like we're doing right now. But
The apprentice
you know,
guy was really cool.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. The younger guy,
He was really cool.
Yeah.
And even the actual agent, warden, whatever. I mean, there was nothing that he did was wrong.
No, yeah.
I just,
It was-
Until he sat us, all right, you boys get in a line. I need to have a talk with you. I was like, all right, dude, don't talk to me like I'm a fucking 3rd grader. Just
I'm
Yeah.
a felon. Like,
Yeah.
like-
I didn't have my geese separated. We've got 9. Our limit was 15.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah.
Yes. That's kind of, but he was making a point, which
He did a good job of making a point.
Yeah.
We all, I think every single one of us learned from it.
yeah,
No,
which
you didn't.
I did.
yeah, you fuck.
Like I said, I ordered tags.
Have you ever waterfowl hunted, Jeff? Oh, we'll have to do a little.
Don't ever go.
Yeah, don't go. You'll spend all your McKenna might actually kill you. You'll spend all your
It's
money.
her credit card's paying for everything, right, Spencer?
Yeah, that's
Baby
true.
girl.
We'll just bust her credit card out and buy us a.
I do need some new snow goose decals.
Yeah, that's true.
And I need a new bow.
Oh,
I'm ready for these.
I bet you I can get.
I've got the phase 4, but I'm ready for the lift.
I
So.
think I can get like
That's what I got.
probably 200 snow goose decoys for your one bow, so I win.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm ready for these beer drinking podcasts come deer season.
No, dude, it's like working class. They say it all the time. Like the summer episodes are more of like just kind of entertainment episodes. Like it's hard to. No one really gets into it again until like listening into like deer hunt stuff until like August again. But once like deer season rolls around, like imagine how long we could sit down here and talk about like what deer showed up, what deer's on camera, how we're gonna hunt next weekend. Like shit's gonna get fucking crazy in deer season.
Yeah, we better watch out for Landon because he might not stop talking.
We're gonna have we're gonna have to take our headphones off and just fucking. Sorrel still be talking. And yeah, this one time. Fuck. But no, I'm looking forward to the next couple weeks. I mean, we got, I feel like everyone says it, but, July 4th is like the pivotal time to where everyone switches. Like everyone starts throwing cameras out. Everyone starts breaking their bows back out and shooting them if they haven't shot them yet. Like July 4th is like that cutoff time to say, okay, it's time to start thinking about whitetails again if that's what they're going to do. Because, most of the Western draw states have already, the points have already been put in. Everybody knows where they're going. So it's kind of that time where whitetails start really taking back over and whatever. I know we talked about it before. Spencer's got a couple cameras running out. He got a hell of a deer on camera tonight.
John Deere,
Yeah, John Deere.
4 wheels.
Shout out to Dan, Spencer's best friend.
Where's the other one?
Yeah. I don't know how he keeps finding you.
He's gonna quit
Yeah.
real soon.
Spencer leases a farm this year. Dan just drives through it.
Hell, you'll put a camera up in a whole nother county and he'll show up on it.
He probably would, honestly.
A whole nother state.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm gonna start printing pictures off of him. Every time you put a camera out, I'm gonna walk in front of him, put his face in front of him. Oh, fucking funny as shit. But no, like I said, it's kind of that time. Me and Landon haven't put any cameras out yet, but I was driving around last night looking for some deer because we had a cooler evening and I didn't see anything big. But it's getting that time. I'm gonna start, driving around looking for some deer again and start figuring out kind of what's going on. We did, I guess the good news, we did get our farm again up north, so
Where's the class?
Must be nice.
I know Max is down a farm, but he's gonna rebound somewhere. Hopefully that managed hunt comes through. Did you guys put in for managed hunt yet?
I don't think it's open yet.
Open yesterday.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I put in for the Runge Center here in town.
Oh, there you go.
We'll see. I know I won't draw it just because there'll be people with fucking 10 or 20 points that'll put in and draw it, but I got my fingers crossed I might. So,
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
I'm gonna even put you in for one, Nick.
Me?
Yeah.
Can? Hell, I don't
Might.
care.
I'll put you in-
I'll get the bow back out.
I'll put you in for the
Little rusty,
I'll put
but-
you in for the disabled hunt.
Hell, I'll win that motherfucker.
But no, so I guess what do you got any cameras out yet, or you still kind
I got 2 of them out for right now. I mean, it's our Tacticams. I mean, you're paying for the subscription anyways. I
Might
just
as well run 'em.
Couple
Yeah.
up, for a couple clover plots. Just see what's running around, but not really hitting it too hard.
What are we allowed to talk about? What his opinion on Tacticams are on this or no?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't fucking
What's your
like 'em.
opinion on them? Tacticams.
I like them. Myself, they're super handy. I run them, and then on the home farm, I run the Cuddy Link system, and I just got like the home camera just sitting right there in my bedroom window. And I had them before I even had Tacticam or whatever, and I really like it.
Yeah. Well,
You prefer the cutty backs or the
Well, both of them. I mean,
You like them both.
I didn't
the-
I didn't
like the-
mind the Cuddy Links when we had it. I thought they were all right cameras.
yeah, but usually at the home farm, like I said, I run the cutty links. Right now I'm running the Tacticams just because I'm paying for a subscription, so I just will put them out.
Right.
And like I said, the cutty links just suck running the 4D batteries.
Yeah.
Versus the Tacticams, got the lithium.
Yeah.
But I'll move them out probably got the farm up in Paris and down to the lake. I'll move them out there whenever it gets more serious.
Yeah.
So,
You hunt down at the lake too?
I got a farm down there I bought a couple years ago. And then my brother, he owns a couple of different farms. Then he's got a neighbor next to him that like hunt on it too. He's got like 700 acres. So
That's where I mainly go.
Is it?
If I'm not hunting public around here or something.
I got you.
We got 200 acres down there, so.
There you go. Yeah, the problem with down at the lake is the quality of the deer has really just took a plummet over the past couple of years.
I don't know. I've got 3 this year that are going to be huge.
Yeah.
I feel like
if
the
they
lake
made
is
it.
a very, just talking like quickly on it, but I feel like the lake's very pockety. Like I feel like there's small areas where there's great deer, great numbers, and there's areas that are very shit numbers.
Yeah.
The thing I dislike the most, well, at least where I'm at, is that they'll get big racks where I'm at, but they're just really small deer.
Yeah, they always got small bodies.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like before COVID, like I said, I never really hunted down there much, but like my brother, he'd run a couple cameras or he'd just be taking pictures of my brother don't really care to deer hunt. He's first weekend of deer season, that's about it.
Yeah.
But like everybody around him or people he knew, the pictures he'd take pictures of the ones that people killed around there. I mean, just huge deer.
Yeah.
And I mean, and tons of them. But after COVID hit, it seemed like a lot of them farms, they all split up in a price market down there.
Yeah.
The price of land skyrocketed.
insane.
Yep.
Yeah, so everybody now has, 40 acre and they got 3 people hunting it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the first year I bought my farm down there and went hunting it, and before he said, you don't hardly ever see anybody hunting. There was more vehicles and gunshots than around here.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Rifle
believe it.
season's horrible
Osage
down
County?
there.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I'll say
that's
about
saying some
Osage
shit.
County, which I could be wrong, you know more about than I do. There's obviously a huge number of hunters down there, but there's still a lot of big farms in that area. Like you still have
In certain pockets, yeah.
you still have a couple of them.
Yeah,
6,
like
7.
problem is like my farm, it ain't over hunted, but all the neighbors around it except for one.
Right.
Like we
Hunt the
figured
pest.
it out one time. It's like one person per 15 acres.
God
Stupid.
damn.
Fuck.
And
Holy
for most of the
shit.
county.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is insane.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, the lake area. Just talking back on it, I mean, there's been some giants killed down there. I feel like if you get like the price of the farms down there, if you had bought like 10 years ago down there, you could probably buy a farm for $800,000 an acre, and now shit's fucking up around that. I don't know, $3,000 an acre, probably depending on where you're at. But
Probably
I know.
at a minimum.
3,000?
Probably at a
That
minimum.
Rocky Hill ground's worth 8 now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like I bought mine for like $1,350, and that fall I could have sold it for 6.
Oh fuck.
I believe
Like it was so bad down there.
Wow.
Like my brother, he rents a ton of ground down there to run cows
Yeah.
on, and a lot of them are small ground. He thought he was going to lose it all because every person that he rented from, at one point or another, come to him and said, "Hey, I don't know if I'm going to be holding this farm much longer." He said, "Why, you have money problems? What's the matter?" He said, "No, the realtors going around to everybody's door knocking on them, said, 'Hey, I can sell your farm probably within a month for $8,000-9,000. He said, "We'll guarantee
Jesus.
it." And get a couple realtors doing that to everybody.
Oh yeah, it
People-
starts making people talk and starts making people sell. You
Yeah,
get
and that's
one-
what, they was selling like hotcakes. Because I remember the road that I bought my farm on, when I bought it, there was 5 farms for sale. And by that fall, there was no farms down there for sale. I mean, there was no farm for sale anywhere unless
Damn.
it was listed ungodly high.
That's
I mean, I hate to say it, but if I had a farm that I wasn't doing nothing with, and somebody came up and said that to me,
Yeah, I mean, well, that's how a lot of them farms down there were for years. They just sat, like the big timber farms, especially. People just kind of, they may have deer hunted them a little bit, but other than that, some of them big farms down there just kind of sat. And now, I know like Bradley and Bradley's dad, when they bought that farm down by the house, they only paid $800 an acre for it. And they've had people come up, same thing, $7,000-8,000 an acre, wanting to,
Yeah, and like my brother, he got worried to death because his neighbor owns 700 acres, something like that. And that's what he's always saying. Yeah, I get older, I'm going to start selling it to you. And same thing, your realtor started knocking his door off from that price. And my brother's like, I don't know if I'm going to go buy it no more.
Yeah.
But luckily, what that guy, he's an old timer, and what he's worried about, is he's kind of like me. Like, this is ground to live on and farm, and he didn't want to sell it because he knew his first thing I do, I'm going to sell it. They're going to split it up in 20 different pieces.
Yeah.
And then double their money.
Yep.
You know, he said, I want to be a cattle farm, you know,
Yeah.
forever. So
Yeah.
he said, I'll still continue to sell it to you, but I am going to raise the price a little bit. And he's like,
Fuck. Yeah.
dang, but he still bought, you know, 100 more acres of it this year and still got a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's land's one of them things. It just, they don't make any more of it, and it just keeps going up and up and up, man. It almost seems to me like, when is it going to hit a stopping point, or when is it going to, you know, hit a point to where people say, no, I don't want to pay that anymore. But it seems like it just gets higher and higher.
Yeah.
It seems like, I mean,
November.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But
I hope.
I mean, I remember like even Grandpa's farm in Tebbets, they bought 70 acres over there, and 99 paid $1,000 an acre for it. And back then they were like, you know, $1,000 an acre between 4 or 5 people, and they were all freaking out over that. Now it's worth $10,000 an acre. You know, it's kind of
And now you got guys splitting $10,000 leases.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true. I was talking to Spencer about that earlier on the phone. You know, some of them leases are, which I hate to say it, but it's a pay to play game anymore for, you know, to be in some of them farms and shit. And you know, you see some of them leases anymore that are $10,000 or $15,000 a year leases. Like, that's fucking crazy. Even split that between 3 people and say you spend $5,000 a year on a lease. I mean, fuck, that's $500 a month. Pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's
almost
fucking-
go on guided hunt for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And be
that's-
almost guaranteed a freaking
Yeah.
a shot.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
not saying you're going to kill, but almost a shot.
Yeah, it's just
There's a bunch of people going to like how many $100 a day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
That's stupid.
even I don't know. Which we work with the leasing company that whatever title sponsors the podcast, and which it's not their fault because it's the owner's control of what they set the price at, and there is an overwhelming amount of farms that are going to day leases, and they're wanting $200 or $300
A day.
a day to hunt some of the farms.
To deer hunt,
Yeah.
I've paid $100 a day to duck hunt.
Well,
Yeah, but duck
that-
hunt is
yeah,
different,
we you know
No. I would, and this is me saying this, so this should mean something. I would pay $100 a day to deer hunt over shooting 4 mallards. Like,
Well,
to shoot 4 mallards over shooting a 180-inch deer,
Yes.
150-inch deer.
well, sure, but
That's
say
asinine.
You say you pay $100 a day to hunt. When do you hunt? If you say you don't get that lease till December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, which might
Yeah.
be the time
That's
you
fair.
get it.
So
there's
I did
been-
it one time. I paid
Break
$100.
that down. How
yeah.
many different 3-day hunters have been in there hunting that same
You're not-
100-acre
you're
farm?
right.
I mean, I'm not going to go
but-
hunt a farm that 15 people have already hunted consecutive days.
Same
for the
thing-
last month. Fuck
Same
that.
thing with us. So, like, we had the opportunity last year in North Dakota to hunt this pothole. We didn't have a feed lined up. We had a pothole filled with mallards. And this farmer insisted he got $100 a gun. And I was like, I'm not paying $100 to shoot 4 mallards. I was like, there's nothing but mallards in that in that water hole. I was like, I can go home and
do the same shit
do
at
the
Grand
sa- Do the
Pass.
same thing at Grand Pass for nothing, or anywhere for nothing. It's like, I'm not paying $100 or $25 a duck. If you had a field with geese and ducks in it, I probably would have done it. But you go and shoot one trophy deer, I'd 100% pay $100 a day for that. And I don't deer hunt. I hate deer. Deer are
Yeah.
stupid. On repeat, deer are stupid.
No, I get what you're saying, but I think it's a lot. You could have paid $100 to go shoot 4 ducks, or somebody like on these leases, you could pay
Yeah.
$100 to say you can hunt here 3 days, but
Who's to say somebody didn't hunt that pothole the day before?
well, no, I mean,
Yeah,
same thing,
I
but
feel like I know what both of you are trying to say.
Yeah.
it's
You know,
the
in a
same
sense.
difference. But I can tell you right now, if you're chasing a 180-inch deer,
It-
and there's been
A guy in there
Six-
for the last
six-
6 days, or
not even just one
3
guy.
days.
Yeah.
You know, one guy hunted it consecutively. Okay,
That's probably
that
better than
sucks.
6 different guys.
But you got 6 different guys that definitely.
I see
don't-
what
Well, yeah,
No,
and
no,
I
I
agree.
mean, I'll just say this: imagine driving down the road and you see, you know, just take this for instance: you see 20,000 snow geese in a feed, and the farmer says, "Hey, Nick, to be able to hunt this, you need
Here's my checkbook,
Yeah,
buddy.
you need $100 a gun. You know, we'd probably be like, all right, well, these birds are probably going to move out of here in the next several days. Like, we'll give you $100 a gun to hunt it for a day or two. But I feel like deer is one of them things that if you don't have shit dialed in and you don't have a beat on where that fucker is, it's taken how long has it taken us to kill some 5-year-old deer?
I think
Right.
Years.
The only situation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 5 years to figure out.
Say you got a good feed that you've
Yeah.
been seeing for like around here, the feeds we found that say they've been in there for.
I wouldn't bet
A week
7 cents on any feed that we ever find.
Okay,
around
but
here.
say there was one that was consecutive.
Yeah.
And the farmer said, yeah, you can hunt it, but you can't hunt it until Sunday night because I got somebody hunting it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
I
and
ain't hunting
Saturday. That's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna
No.
hunt it.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
no,
I mean,
definitely not.
it's
I mean,
just-
situations like that have happened.
It's
Like
situation
that day that we
depending.
hunted that last field when all the extra guys showed up. That field got hunted the day before, and I didn't know that, or 2 days before, and I didn't know that.
Right.
Had I known that, we wouldn't have hunted that day. But that's just me wanting 3 days of consistency.
yeah.
And I just missed it one day. I couldn't get out there, so I didn't know that until
Yeah.
after the fact, and it ended up nailing us. Granted, had we not been an hour and a half late getting finished set up, I don't think we would have had an issue still killing our 15 geese that day. But it's a
I don't know.
It's
The
kind of a
whole
give and
pay
take situation.
Yeah,
Every situation is different.
I was gonna say it's just. I feel like it's very dependent on situations. You could draw up a million situations, a million different ways. I mean, if I was driving down
Hell,
whatever road and I seen a 200 incher and it went and I seen it in the beans and it bedded off the beans. I was like, damn, it bedded there. And I drove by the next end, it did the same thing. And I knocked on the door and the person was like, hey, I need $100 for you to hunt that deer today. I went in there, I could, potentially kill it, but it's still one of them things. I mean, it's so situational depending on.
I feel like with deer, the farther out west you get, kind of like in his situation, he said he followed that deer 3 miles down the road.
Yeah.
Watched it jump across the road, jump back across the road. He kind of watched it. Had somebody told him, you got to give me $100 to go hunt that deer. You're giving that guy $100 to go hunt that deer.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt. I think what I'm trying to get at
And somebody
If we-
could have been in there.
we saw, or if you saw
10
a big
times
deer
the
and
day
neighbor
before.
or the farmer said, yeah, you can go shoot him for $100. Obviously, we're going to do it. But
Yes.
what I'm saying is these lease companies that are, hey, I'm not leasing my farm year round.
I'm leasing it daily.
I'm leasing it daily.
Okay.
So,
you don't know who. You don't know what Joe Blow fucking faggot's
right,
been in
been
there.
Max in there.
Yeah, I mean, Max could have been in there stinking that son of a bitch up and running everything around. We don't know.
Hell, I ain't gonna go
You
in
know.
there. But Spencer was in there the day before.
I
Shit,
mean,
I'm going
fucking-
in there. I'm
I-
gonna kill that.
I
son of a
mean,
bitch.
you would go in there after him because there's still a big deer in there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go in after me because
Yeah.
I'd have that sound.
I mean, for all we know, a rainbow-headed faggot went in there for $100 just to,
But I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I saw a deer, I'll pay for the next 3 days. Like, I think you have to like buy it now.
Yes. No. Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you
Next
just.
amount of days right now.
Yeah. So
Well, those 3 days before, the people that had it could have deer drove the whole farm, and you
Yeah.
didn't know.
I mean,
this,
if it's during
this
rifle
that's a
season,
that's a
I'll
very
go
good point. If it's rifle season and it's $100 for some of them, I'd pay $100 to deer drive one. Like, I don't get me wrong, I hate deer drives and I don't condone it, but I mean, if I didn't have shit else to do, I mean, I'd
I
blow
was in
$100 to
I'd-
drive out a property. I don't know. That's just me talking out of my ass too, but it's funny conversation because it's just like, how did it get to the point where people are like, you know what? I was getting $2,000 a year from my farm, but I'm gonna rent it for $200 a day because in 10 days, you're gonna make your foot. I mean, how did we get to the point where people are getting so much fucking money for some of these farms?
because they know they'll pay it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it just is. It's so wild to me that how much money gets thrown at, the leases and everything else anymore. But like I said, it's a pay to play game, and when we lease ground every year, I mean,
I'd like to lease a farm too.
yeah, it's getting hard to find anything that's worth the
good
shit.
luck.
Yeah,
And I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'd pay a pretty penny for it as long as I knew like it was mine. year round.
Yes, and you knew that it was in a area where, or even if you knew that, hey, this farm's not just a piece of shit farm that someone was like, well, I bought the farm to hunt, but this farm ain't worth a fuck. I'll just lease it out and go buy another farm. And I don't. If I bought a farm and it fucking was dog shit for 2 or 3 years, I'd be like, yeah, fuck this farm. I'll just lease it to someone for $10,000 a year. I'll go buy another farm with their fucking $10,000. I don't know, but I don't know. It's leases is just one of them things. I love it, but I hate it. Permission's just not what it. I mean, obviously, Spencer, you still got permission places. Well, actually, not anymore. Not anymore. He made you lease it this year. So
He didn't make me lease it.
no, but
But
it was
for
in
what I
your
wanted.
best. It was in your best interest
To
to
lease.
lease it.
Yeah, because I get an acre of beans to stand.
Yes, and no other dumbass can hunt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, just one of them things. I mean, there's no right or wrong either way. It's just a lot of people want to hunt, and there's a lot of money in it. And whenever you get a lot of money thrown around that stuff, you get, one of them things. But anything else? Well, should we close it out on that arguing?
Might as well.
Closing thoughts, Jeffro.
Got nothing.
Jeffro speechless. Nick, closing thoughts. Anything? Give us something.
Whitetails suck.
White-
Go ducks. Greenheads.
You fucking gay faggot, Nick.
Waylon?
I think it will slap you.
I didn't say mule deer.
Nick just gets punched right in the head off the podcast. Bitch. Spencer, closing thoughts. Come on, you got to give us something. Are you
Go
going
check
to
out HLRBO?
Yeah, okay, that is true. I'll put their ad right as soon as you say that. I'll put their ad in there when I edit this.
That's
Are you going to? You have to give us your prediction right now. Are you going to kill Curls this year?
He's
He
going
ain't gonna
September
show up.
13th.
Yeah, he
and
ain't
we're
gonna
killing
show
geese
up.
October 15th.
We probably will be.
Wow.
Max, do you have anything? Max is speechless as well. All right, we're running up on about an hour and a half. We've been going at it. So, Skylar, blah. Waylon, thanks again for coming in.
No problem. Thanks for
Appreciate you
having me.
taking the time. Appreciate you bringing the skull cap of your mule deer in
Oh,
too.
yeah.
That's
No problem.
freaking giant. I always like seeing people when they bring their deer in and stuff. So
I think it's gnarly.
yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. So we thank you for bringing that in. And other than that, wrap your tag around the main beam. We'll see you on the next one.